Hey YouTube, Crypto Doc here with another video. Today I'm gonna put out a little question to you guys, and that question is this. Do you think in our lifetime, in the next 10, 20, 30 years, that we're gonna see our first trillionaire investor? I think, my brother first posed this question to me a few days ago, and at first my initial reaction was absolutely not. Like, a split second, I was like, no. But as I thought about it more and more, and as I'm thinking about it, I think we have to really apply exponential thinking to this. It's kind of like before the internet, you could have never imagined what the internet is today. The applications, the infrastructure of it, how it changed every single industry we know, how it changed how we interact as human beings for that matter. So we would have never been able to see what was possible. And in a similar way, it could be like that with blockchain technology and these cryptocurrencies. So not just in the financial world, but they're talking about blockchain technologies that are going to revolutionize anything from real estate to healthcare for that matter. So when you think about something that has the potential to disrupt so many industries and help billions of people, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to become extremely wealthy off of it. And I think that the greatest cryptocurrency investors of all time are still yet to be found, are still yet to be developed. And with that being said, when you think about the long run, 10, 20, 30, 50 years from now, if Bitcoin was worth a few hundred thousand, let alone $1 million, it's very possible we may see our first trillionaire investor within the cryptocurrency or blockchain technology space and industries. And just to give you an idea for why I thought this was more and more possible is because someone told me that or I was watching a YouTube video, I forget who, but they had mentioned that there is a Bitcoin account out there with 1 million Bitcoin. It's been rumored that it might be the account of Satoshi Nakamoto. I might be saying that completely wrong, but Satoshi Nakamoto is rumored to be the creator of Bitcoin and the blockchain technology. But apparently there's an account with 1 million Bitcoin out there. And so with 1 million Bitcoin, if Bitcoin ever reached $1 million per Bitcoin, we're looking at $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin. And that might sound insane, but I bet just 2-3 years ago, if you had told someone that Bitcoin was going to be worth $20,000, they probably would have thought that was just as insane. Okay, so I'm trying to think exponentially and long term about this because I do believe that blockchain and cryptocurrency is here to stay. How the governmental regulation, taxation, internet regulation, all these other factors is going to play out is yet to be seen. But I do believe that this space is here to stay. There's just too many applications for the blockchain technology across the map for it not to be utilized in a very profitable and efficient and helpful way for a lot of people. Okay, so as I was thinking about the greatest cryptocurrency investors, it made me think about who are the best investors of all time. Back in the day, who was it? And it led me to this gentleman, Sir John Templeton. He was on the list of quite a few. And what really resonated me about Sir John Templeton was his strategy. He really got started around the Depression era, 1930s era when he got started. And I heard that he invested across the whole stock market. He invested it into every stock at that time that was less than $1. And then he just basically went long on it and made a ton of money and a lot of great investment strategies. But basically, that resonated with me. Okay, here we are with a brand new Bitcoin cryptocurrency markets, a lot of opportunities and options of cryptocurrencies that are less than $5 that you can invest in right now. Not all of them are extremely promising, but a lot of them have their niche that the coin is going to work in terms of whether it's technology applications or they process transactions a lot faster, or like Ripple getting sucked up with the having a lot of applications in the banking industry. So all these other factors are playing a big part of it. So John Templeton really resonated with me because I'm more of a passive investor. I don't have a lot of time. I do have a career, and I love taking care of my patients. But at the same time, I want to mitigate risks. I don't want to be holding any one coin, and I want to diversify across a class. And when I look at all the top 100 cryptocurrencies that are under $5 for that matter, I mean, it really is hard to find something that hasn't gone up in value in the last few months for that matter. So I kind of like that strategy. It's a passive it's a passive investing strategy for sure, but I think for someone like me that can work out good. So with John Templeton, that's what I meant by timing and longevity. You know, he was in at a time. So when everybody is in a down market and he got started in depression, that's when he found his buying opportunity. Just like Warren Buffett, 2006, 2008, he didn't panic. He didn't sell off everything for that matter. Is when the crash happened, he was positioned to basically buy everything for 50 cents on the dollar. It's like going and buying everything half off, and look at him now. He was already very wealthy back then, but we're talking one of the richest, wealthiest people in the world for that matter, because of his strategy of, you know, not panicking and looking out for timing. What a normal investor does, and I saw this happen with friends, I saw this happen with my own family, is they started buying when the market was high. They started buying 2004, 2005 rental properties and investment homes and stock markets and all of this. So when everything crashed, a lot of them were decimated. A lot of them, their portfolios take 50, 60, 70%. Houses getting short saled and foreclosed on and all this going on. And then they're so scared of investing after that they still have barely invested any of their money since then. Okay, I have a family member that has done that, and I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying that's a normal emotional response when you get turned upside down like that. So when I looked at all the top investors from the early 1900s, people like John Templeton is another big one, is they didn't panic. All right, they looked at downturns as great opportunity, and used that to get in a lot of good positions and buy for, you know, pennies on the dollar, so to speak. The next thing from John Templeton that really resonated with me was invest with an open mind. Sorry, guys. Invest with an open mind. I think that really is important to remember as we get going more and more with blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. There's so many speculated applications for these technologies that we'll really see how it turns out and which coins really become the winners over time. Next is diversify without exaggeration. So like I had mentioned his early story, he diversified across all those stocks that were $1 and less. But it's not like he spread so thin across the board. He talked a little bit about not swinging the pendulum so far the other way and being so spread thin. But you want to identify how you want to diversify and not put all your eggs in the basket, so to speak. So, you know, obviously that's investing type of 101 jargon, but I wanted to put that in there because some people that are brand new to cryptocurrency, some of them don't even know anything outside of Bitcoin, and they're just holding Bitcoin, or they're just holding Bitcoin and Litecoin for that matter. And I think that might not be quite diversified enough, and you're not taking advantage of all the other aspects of the cryptocurrency market. But hey, I'm sure there's probably people that out there that have made a ton of money just holding one of those. What do I know? We'll see how this whole investment cryptocurrency market plays out over time. Next one is do your homework. So John Templeton was a true investor, not necessarily a speculator. The difference is an investor is going to do their homework. They're going to look at the executive team. They're going to look at the efficiency of the technology. How fast can it process transactions? Can the technology be upgraded over time? Can the technology have other applications for other industries? All these other factors. So they're going to really look into that so they can get a good value, not only on the cryptocurrency, but essentially the company of that cryptocurrency. And I think that's what a real true investor does, is doing their homework, because they're looking for value. They're looking for a ton of value at current prices, which are a lot less. And they're looking for this huge value in application, rather than a speculator is someone just may not see it as buying cryptocurrency and being it's kind of a little bit easier with stocks. Like an investor with stocks, when you buy stocks, your mentality is that I'm the owner of this company. I want to invest into a company that I would like to own and run. So it's good fundamentals, good executive team, good product, good efficiency, you name it. Now, a speculator might look at those same stocks and just look at it as pieces of paper, as pieces of code for this matter, that you're just trying to sell off and trade to the highest bidder and make a good profit. And what John and some of the other guys, big time investors, were talking about is you can be very smart speculative investor. You can be very good great speculator and a very great investor. So those two different types, and there is no right or wrong. I think it was more of identifying who you are and what you want to do, as there can be very profitable investors, or speculators for that matter, on both sides. So, and we touched a little bit on this. Do not panic. I can't see any aspect of any of the big time investors that it seemed like none of them had a panic button. It was actually the opposite. When everyone's panicking, they're ready to buy, right? The last one is, there is no such thing as certainty. I think that's a great thing to keep in mind when we're with cryptocurrency. Make sure you are diversifying. Make sure you are not overextending yourself in your cryptocurrency investments. You want to take some profits off the table and watch out for that. And I think that resonates well in this cryptocurrency space. So, Sir John Templeton, if you want to have a better performance than the crowd, you must do things differently from the crowd. I like this quote because I think if you're already trading and investing in cryptocurrency, you already are doing something that's different from the crowd. And as such, we're all getting amazing performance. It makes everyone and every investor feel like a genius and an oracle or whatever, because everything's going up. But at the same time, I think this quote resonates well with this, because this whole cryptocurrency and blockchain technology really is different from the crowd right now. And if you're trading it, even though it's ran up incredible amounts, I still believe that we are still really in the early stages. So, asking this question, are we going to see trillionaires? Are we going to see the hugest class of the largest class of millionaire investors in the cryptocurrency space? It's very possible. We're going to get huge wealth transfers, whole new new money, so to speak. And so you got to start thinking long term, or maybe you don't believe it's going to be around here for a long time. Maybe you think it's going to be a bubble. Whatever it is, when I was reading about the greatest investors of all time, it came down to knowing who you are and knowing your strategy and your plans based off of that and your belief system. So, who are you? What do you believe? I believe, my fundamental belief and what I'm putting my money on and betting on is that blockchain and cryptocurrency is here to stay, and it's here to stay for a long run. So I don't mind buying into some altcoins and having long positions. I don't mind if there's huge volatility up and down in some of those positions, because ultimately I'm not actively I'm not a super active trader, so to speak. I'm looking for good value investments, and then I'm going to be holding them for a while. So I believe, my fundamental belief is that cryptocurrency, I'm betting on the cryptocurrency to keep going for a long time, if not be the means of financial transactions for the future for everybody. Okay. And with that being said, what type of investor are you? So I know with my day job and a career and not wanting to, sacrifice that I only have a little bit of time for this. I have about an hour to look into my investments. Sometimes at lunch, I'll do a little bit more study, and then another hour when I'm putting together a YouTube video like this. So I know that I need to be a little bit versus a passive versus an active investor. I know I'm leaning more on the passive side just because this is not my full-time job. This is not my full-time 24/7 career, so to speak. So I know who I am as an investor in this space. The next one is how much time and work investment can you put in? I believe that if you're going to be a true investor in this space, you got to put in your time and you got to put in your work. You got to invest into these companies and look for the best value. Or maybe you consider yourself more of a speculator and trader. You are just looking in to ride the hype trains and make some money and pump and dump and all these different factors. I'm not saying one or the either is right or wrong. I think when it comes to right and wrong with investing, the right is, did you make money? And I think being right, you can be right as a great speculator and you can be right as a great investor. So based on those first three questions, I think it leads you to number 4 and 5. Do you have a plan? Do you have a strategy for that plan? So for me, let's walk through this. The foundation, what I believe, cryptocurrency is here to stay. So I'm going to be going long on it. What type of investor are you? I'm more of a passive investor, so I need to diversify and protect my mitigate my losses, so to speak. So I'm going to diversify across not only multiple coins, but also into mining contracts, lending contracts, and other aspects like that. Number 3, the time and work investment. Again, more of a passive because I can't put in all the homework I want and all the time that I want. And so it leads me to my plan and my strategy. My general plan is like what we've been talking about. It's almost like I call it the the John Templeton plan. And that's where I'm going to diversify and play long on a lot of these cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies. And I'm looking for things that have applications, not just trying to compete in just the financial aspect, but other blockchains. I'm hearing things like from Ripple and Ethereum that they have many other applications and many other industries across the world. And that's what I'm kind of excited about, getting invested into those cryptocurrencies. So that's a general plan. Get diversified. I am investing in quite a few, lower cost altcoins, and then also looking for companies with good technology, fast transactions, all these other factors that make a good blockchain or cryptocurrency, and also diversifying across the mining and lending platforms. And then so based on that, I thought these are good questions that you can ask yourself. I know for the first couple of weeks I wasn't asking this, I wasn't jumping in, and I felt like I was putting the cart before the horse, and I needed to pull myself back a little bit and remember that, hey, while I am making money, while I am getting awesome returns, while I am earning anywhere from 2 to 3% a day on my money, is to remember that may not always be there forever. And the longer we're in this cryptocurrency investment arena, then I'm sure good investment principles are going to become that much more invaluable over time. All right. So again, I am Crypto Doc. It is late right now. I got done with work. I'm making this video. I'm sure you can see my eyes are so tired. It's almost 11. But the health tip checking out is get some sleep. All right. 7 to 8 hours of sleep, get you rested, get you feeling well. You name it. There's thousands of studies that sleep will increase longevity, lessens depression, less risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, better weight and hormone management, you name it. So make sure you get some sleep. Don't cut that short. You want to stay healthy. It is your body, and your health is your number one asset, and will help you to enjoy and keep on making great money with your cryptocurrency investments. So I am Crypto Doc. It's kind of a long video, I'm sure. I don't know how long I've been going, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Hope you guys have a great night and look forward to talking to you on the next video. If anything I said you wanted to expand upon, you want to touch base on, please subscribe, like, turn on the notifications, and leave a comment for me. Let's have a chat about this stuff. Where do you think cryptocurrency is going in the future? Do you think that we're going to see our first trillionaire investor here in the next maybe 10, 20 years? Who knows? We'll see what happens. So looking forward to it. I'm signing off. Crypto Doc. Take care, you guys.